Welcome to episode 8 of the Pitch In for Baseball and Softball webcast. I'm excited to be joined today by two-time MLB All-Star Dee Strange-Gordon, who recently partnered with us, along with Wilson Sporting Goods, the Jackie Robinson Training Complex, and Safe Space to give out baseball gear and put on a clinic to help kids play ball in Vero Beach, Florida. Dee, thank you so much for taking the time. How are things going for you?
Doing good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, first off, can you tell us just a little bit about the DriveThru Clinic you did last Saturday, and what was your goal for this event?
The goal is just to reach kids. That's pretty much the goal all the time. I think more important than giving your money is giving your time and being able to be touched and seen and spoken to, on a personal basis. Is a big deal for kids to inspire them.
Was there a favorite part that you had from the day, or something in particular that stood out to you?
Probably I helped a little girl hit her first home run over the fence, and her face, because she was so excited, like her face, she just loved it. That was probably the biggest thing. And also when I walked around the corner and see how many cars were at the pull-up event when it started.
So part of this event was handing out equipment to kids, as you mentioned, the drive-through. Now, a lot of kids don't have the chance to ever play baseball because of, in part, the high cost of equipment. What do you think it meant to them to receive this equipment, to have as their own?
When I do stuff like this, I try not to think about, like per se what goes through their mind. I just try to say, hopefully I inspired them to want to do something. That's that, because you don't know what people's mind is. So I don't want to change somebody's mind. I just want to inspire them to do whatever it is they want to do great. It doesn't have to be baseball. They can take my story and go be the best doctor they ever, if they want to be. Don't matter. I just want to let them know to be inspired to do something. And that plans change, because I was a big basketball guy and now I play baseball.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, you played basketball when you were younger, and then started playing baseball in high school, but sports obviously have always been important to your life, right? So thinking back to that particular time in your life, how important was it to you to have sports as an outlet and as an escape?
It was big. I think I got, my athleticism and stuff by working by myself. Just trying things and failing at it most of the time. So, and then getting better at it and practicing it and learning it so that I can be as best as I can be when I actually play people. So that's how I got better.
Now, one of the great things about sports and being part of a team is the life lessons that kids are able to learn through this experience. Do you have any memories from back when you were a kid, or really even recently in your life, of how sports taught you something important about life?
Now that I play, my first ever time I ever stepped in the bat, I was 8 years old. Stepped up to at bat when I was 8 years old, and a friend of mine smoked me in the back. First pitch I ever seen. Boom, right in the back. I was like, yep, I hate this sport. And now I look back on it and be like, dang, I play this for a living now. Like, I had some live at bats today. I got hit, and I was like, oh, yeah, we good. Like, it's crazy looking back on it. Like, that was the reason I hated it back when I was younger. But now it doesn't even bother me to get hit.
Yeah, it's funny. Adversity is obviously one of the big lessons that people can learn. And as you mentioned, it's not just about carrying that into playing sports, high school sports, college, whatnot. It's taking those lessons and applying them to whatever it is that you end up doing in your life. The event included kids from the domestic violence shelter Safe Space. What did it mean to you to have the opportunity to work with these kids?
Man, that meant so much, because that mean they came from what I'm coming from. We can connect on a different level. There's times when the kids come out and see me in my stadiums and things like this. They ask me questions about, like, how was it growing up for you? And I'm like, yo, this was the same. Like, running, scared, things like that. It's the same thing, but you see me, I'm here with you. They got phones, they got Google, they know who I am. And they see that, oh, snap, he can still do it, then maybe I can still do it too.
Now, that's what you do through your Flash of Hope program,
Right.
right? Is there anything that you can tell us about that?
Yeah, I started in 2015, and I just wanted to give back to and inspire. Once again, that's a big word for me. Inspire domestically abused kids to be something. Everybody, just sometimes need a little pick me up, and I just want to be that sometimes. Be an out for them.
Now, were you able to kind of talk individually with the kids from Safe Space? And when you do have kids out as part of your Flash of Hope program, is there a specific message that you have for them or a way that you encourage them? You talk about wanting to just give them some inspiration. How do you do that?
Well, so like with what we just had with the camp, that was so socially distanced that really didn't happen. But usually with my Flash of Hope program, the kids come and sit in the dugout with me, and the families, like the mom, it's usually the mom domestically abused places. The mom, all the kids come sit with me, and I sit down with them 20, 30 minutes each, and I listen. I mean, I want to know what they're going through because no one listened to me. So I hear it. I've heard some crazy stories. I mean, some crazy stories. And I just continue to tell the kids, like I try to level with them, try to show them that we're the same. There's no difference because I play here. We're the absolute same. When I was your age, I was thinking the same thoughts as you were. So what are you thinking about? What are your interests? What are your goals? Things like that. Because I still had goals and interests as a kid that age, but it was just a bad situation. So I want them to know that they can still obtain those goals. You understand? So that's the biggest thing. See what their goals are. Some like last couple years, kid in Seattle didn't play sports. I say, so which sport you like? He's like, I like football and I'm good at it, but I just won't play. Like, why not? Why don't you just play just to see if you're good at it? Now he's like really good at football in Seattle right now. It's like you just don't know unless you try, and half of the time when you're in that type of environment, our mother is our protector. If you see your protection getting abused, you kind of sway away too because you don't want to get abused as well. You know what I'm saying? The person that's there to protect you can't protect themselves. You see that. So you kind of get a little less confident in yourself as well.
Yeah, that's definitely understandable as, these kids that you have been able to work with and talk to, have you ever been able to reconnect with them a couple years later, for instance, or you mentioned the one kid who ended up becoming a football player after you had talked to him. Are there any others that you've been able to kind of track?
It sucks. This is the sucky part about this whole thing with the shelters and things that I work with. They're so like you can't know addresses. You barely can know names. Like, so sometimes I could see him again because I have in the summertime, I have a bowling event for all the kids or all the families. I have all of them come together to a game. See what I'm saying? That'd be a way to reconnect with them. But outside of the ballpark, I can't because they're in protective custody 9 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I have something for them to like. I've had bowling events. I've had Dave and Buster events. I had 100 families come to a couple of my games, like just the whole thing. Like all of the people in Seattle that lived at this one shelter would come to games. All of that, anything I could do to help.
Are you looking to continue that work this year? Obviously, with the pandemic and what's going on, it's probably a lot harder to do that now. But what do you have in the works? What are you planning to do to continue that work?
This camp was a big step in the right direction of something that I could do to help more. Maybe if it's doing something different, like I don't know right now, the pandemic messing it all up. I really can't have that many people in the same room at the same time.
Yeah. Are there any other charitable efforts that you have in the works now besides this program?
Yeah, we got some stuff going, but it's actually about Black baseball. I'm really big into that right now, trying to get more Black kids into baseball as well.
Well, Dee, I know everyone involved with this event is really appreciative of your help. And thank you again for taking the time to share your thoughts with me.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
If you have new or lightly used baseball or softball equipment that you can donate to help kids play ball all over the world, please email us at info@pifbs.org and visit our website, pifbs.org.